Here's the here's a list of stuff I can't do right now. I can't talk all the time properly. Can't move my body properly. Can't bend down. When I try to walk, I only can stand up for 5 minutes. I can't stop my kidney regions from hurting in the back. I can't stop my urine from turning black once in a while. I can't stop little bleeding spots showing up in my body in my testicle region or abdomen. Luckily only once every 8 months or so. I can't seem to go any long distances. I can't carry groceries anymore. I can't keep my hand steady long enough to write. That's now like a 25-year thing. I can't keep my body still for 25 years. I did a little better for the first 15 of this, but I still couldn't keep still. My handwriting was terrible when I threw stuff, and definitely in the cold. During cold, oh no, never during winter. During winter, I never could keep anything still. Maybe indoors in front of a heater. It's even worse now, so I can't keep my body still. Can't walk proper. Can't do any athletic abilities anymore, and as a child, only during summer in front of a heater. Can't digest food. Can't eat solid foods. Haven't been able to really digest or eat very much for about 20 years. I always had a lot of problems after that Epicac punishment, but the food poisoning really drove it home, and I think a lot of just all of it. So I definitely at this point can't eat solid foods, can't digest food, and I vomit a lot. And the mold is getting me sicker as taking years of medications my body shouldn't have been taking. What else can't I do anymore? Oh, I can't have kids anymore. Can't have sex properly anymore. Can't date anymore. Not allowed to follow my dreams or get any more education because I gotta spend all my time with doctors and trying to figure out what's wrong with me. So I can't go to college anymore. Can't drive. Haven't been able to ever drive anymore. As soon as we get some of the medication or some of this diagnosed, I could, but no. This keeps going this way, I'll never be able to drive, and so I can't drive. There was a point in my life where if I took medication, I could drive, but I can't do that anymore. Or if I drank, believe it or not, if I drank about 6 hours prior and I wasn't drunk, or if I had like a beer 2 hours, I actually would be able to drive because I wouldn't shake. But I wouldn't. I don't never drove, so it never came up as a thing. Actually, what's funny is a lot of times people wanted me to drive because I was a sober one, and I would tell them no because I couldn't. Uh, yeah. Anyways, there was one exception. One time, one guy was so smashed he would have crashed through a wall. Even me shaking was better than that guy. Anyway, so can't drive. Can't have a normal relationship. Can't work, so I'm not. Can't be working in this condition. Can't fight back from my landlord. Like what's going on? I got the videos I have are disgusting, but I can't move. I can't move my body. I can't move out, and I can't do anything about the landlord in my condition. So I've had all my abilities taken away. So can't fight against anything in my strength or my condition. Can't get proper health care. That's a big one. I've had my health care taken away from me. Because if you spend 50 years lying about somebody to a doctor, getting fake disorders established, trying to get loads of pills, I mean, some doctors were really upset about. I'm sure there's records of my mother asking for lots of pills and them denying them, and then her going to other doctors and getting lots of pills. I'm sure there's records of that. But that actually hurt me greatly, and her behaviors very clearly showed what she was doing. I mean, it was very clear she wanted to drug me with schizophrenic medication, and it was very clear she already drugged me with medication I wasn't prescribed. So it was very clear what she was doing. So I had my health taken from me and my health care taken from me. So I can't get proper health care. So I can't do that anymore. I can't get proper health care. I can't really see a doctor. I am seeing doctors, but it's not like I get treated like anybody else. You know, it's not like I can explain this to him and it doesn't just sound crazy. Of course it's gonna sound crazy. My mother did crazy shit. Okay, so what else can't I do anymore? Oh, I can't sleep in my bedroom anymore. That has an infestation. I just paid $200 yet. I don't have any more money to keep spending on a room that, and we don't have no problem here, but it's crowded and we're paying a lot of money. Hmm. Can't make money anymore. I mean, I can, but not really. Not if you're having trouble standing up, walking, moving, and you go to the emergency room and they have no idea because you have no proper records, no documentation of what's going on, and all you're trying to do is explain it verbally. That doesn't matter. And then when I got my paperwork, it's so hard to explain how it even like tells them anything. So it's like I'm just screwed. I'm just royally screwed. I was set up, and I'm fucked. This is what happens when a crazy person decides to hide their mistakes, though. Instead of bringing me to the hospital, years of more druggings and twisted cover-ups. It's bad. I mean, it's not really a cover-up. She did it in the open, like she admitted to giving me extra Epicac. It's not like she didn't just when a doctor told her no or got upset and said your kid didn't need these medications, she would get mad. She'd fight with the schools. She would send notes that were crazy. So it wasn't like it was like a cover-up. She couldn't control it. It wasn't like people weren't seeing her craziness. But moving me like every 1 to 2 years, that kind of that solved a lot for her. As well as she switched her narrative. At first, people were figuring out what was going on with me. She didn't think that I knew. Started telling the doctors, "Oh shit, he knows." So then we went to Texas, New Mexico, came back, and she switched to a whole new narrative and story. Started doing fucked up shit to me, and that's where we are today. Is with many, many, many more injuries and things that have happened to me. Now, she passed away in 2011, but we haven't fixed any of the problems that were caused by her. And my father is still complicit in some of this, as well as he still hasn't kept his word about the Social Security deal he made with me. I'm still suffering for a deal that I gave up. Like, I made a stupid decision. What I did is I believed in my father's honesty, and he made a mistake, and I should have trusted my state. I should have trusted my worker and just signed paperwork, but instead I trusted my father. But after everything that happened to me, I definitely wasn't trusting my mother, only him. I looked him in the eye and he made a deal with me. And that's just over with now. So I'm just screwed on Social Security. There's nothing more there. I don't think I can fix that on my own. So I've lost my Social Security as well. If I lose my arms and legs, but I pretty much have, they're attached, but I can't really use them properly, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, I've been sober for like 8 years. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and believe it or not, this suffering and this illness is part of that. I figure if I'm an addict or if I'm an active user, I won't get the help I need. But I was sober for 15 years asking for help from age 5 to about 20. I had a couple like cough medicine incidents, but there wasn't like drug use or anything. There was like a pot, and like maybe at like 18 to 20, I did a lot of pot. And of course, there was a lot of fucked up pills. Oh my God, my brain was all over the place with pills. But that was not my choice. That was not my choice. That started at age 5. It's not like at age 5 I went into the doctors and said I want this medication. That did not happen. None of that ever happened. I did not choose this. I was brainwashed into believing that I needed 112 different brands of pills. They just kept on changing. Every year was a different set too. I started out at age 5 with like two, but the sets just kept on changing and changing. There was Iprexa in there. There was Seroquel, Thorazine, Remron, Trazodone. Oh, don't forget the one that makes you lactate. I had a lactating nipple that my nephew saw. That was called Risperidone, yeah. And me and my nephew saw my left nipple lactating from Risperidone. What was the other one? There was Lamictal and did I say Haldol? At one point it was Thorazine, but then I got the generic Haldol. as well as I was Xanax and Ativan as well at a young age. That actually helped me though, and I got it taken away, and I didn't know what was going on. That one actually seemed to help something, but then I made the stupid decision to try to figure out why, because when I left meds with my mother, they would disappear. So I didn't want that happening. So I made them disappear, and she didn't realize because she just had a stash that she wasn't giving me. So I just took my own stash that she was trying to take from me. By the way, I never really left that part because I didn't want to admit that I went into my parents' room to go get my mother's stash of my pills. Um, and she never obviously said anything because she wasn't supposed to tell anybody she took some off the top. But anyways, I wanted to figure out why these were helping me, and I never got to find out because I did something stupid. Once again, this was at age. I repeated that behavior, and that was wrong for me too. Every time I thought there was something fishy going on, I would try to either take my meds back. That didn't work so well. I had to go to the hospital. Or another time I staked out the room until I waited till my mother had her hand in the cookie jar and caught her red-handed. And then just brought my father into it and nothing happened. But anyways, we're not going to get into that. I think this is a good time to just end the video. My stomach is killing me. My leg is twitching. My hand is not staying still. And I really don't feel good.